I'm Anil Kumar sharing with you solution of a question posted by my friend on Facebook. I have a group on maths where some bright students are posting questions. So this is one of a very good question which I'd like to share with you. The question here is, solve the system of equations square root of x plus y equals to 7 and square root of y plus x equals to 11. Now, when you begin to solve this equation, you land up into a quadratic equation, right? So this, let us say if you isolate y, substitute and square, then what happens? Then it leads to degree 4. That is quadratic equation, right? Now solving quadratic equation is not easy. You could adopt some established methods. For example, the Ferrari's method could be adopted to solve this equation. You can solve as you do degree n polynomials. But these methods take a lot of time. My suggestion is that if you land up into these situations, especially in your test, then you could adopt one of these methods. One, I say trial and error. And the other one is graph. Now, I know that doesn't really sound so good. Graph gives you approximate solution, right? And trial and error, when we're talking about mathematics, well, one seems that this is not the real method, right? So trial and error doesn't really go well with providing solutions, especially on YouTube for the students. But from my experience, I can tell you these are the most effective methods, especially when you have different situations or equations to deal with. Now let's see how to adopt these methods to find the solution. Trial and error. So let's rewrite this equation. Square root of x plus y equals to 7 means y equals to 7 minus square root of x, right? The other equation here is y. So let me first write square root of y equals to 11 minus x and then y equals to 11 minus x whole square. So these are the two equations for us, correct? Now we need to make table of values and then check the solution. So let's make table of values for these two. Now it is very clear from the equations that x has to be greater than equal to 0, right, for both the equations. And we know we are expecting y also is positive, right? So we know y is also greater than equal to 0, right? So that is expected. So let's take some values of x. If I take x as 0, I get, we are doing the first one, which is y is equals to 7 minus square root of x. In that case we get 7. And the next value to take is of course 1. So it is 7 minus 1, which is 6. Then 4 is a good value. Square root of 4 is 2. 7 minus 2 is 5. Then 9 is a nice value. Square root functions, correct? So take 0, 1, 4, 9 and so on. So 9 square root is 3. 7 minus 3 is 4, correct? You could also take 16 as the next number. So 16 square root is 4. 7 minus 4 is 3. So that is how you get the values for y from the given values of x. Now let's get into the next equation, y equals to 11 minus x whole square. So let's take x as 0. Then 11 minus, let's take 11, okay. So 11 minus 11 is 0. That's a good value to take. So we get y equals to 11 minus x whole square. So 11 gives us 0. Now let us take 10 as an example. So 11 minus 10 is 1. 1 square is 1, right? If I take 9, 11 minus 9 is 2. 2 square is 4. If I take 8, 11 minus 8 is 3. 3 square is 9. So likewise, we can take values of x and find the different values of x. Now, if you compare these two tables, we find that we do have a common point, 9, 4. Do you see that? So that becomes the solution, and therefore we can clearly write our solution. And so the solution is 94. Do you see that? So like this, we can quickly get the solution. You could also graph these values. So let's do that. So I'm just taking the first quadrant of the graph, correct? So we know one of this is a square root function, negative, going down. So it's kind of like this, right? So I'm not writing any values here, but just sketching, starting from 7. That is the first one. The other graph is a parabola, right? Square. And what we see, if I do 11, it is 0. So somewhere here, and it will be going kind of like this. Is that okay? So that is how the graph is going to be. And as we found, we do get a solution. That point, in this point for us is, for x value of 9, the y value is 4, right? So that becomes the solution for the system of equations. So the reason of taking up this kind of question here is to give you an idea that if you get stuck and if you find that the question is very difficult to solve, estimate, right? So trial and error is kind of an estimate. Sketch a graph. This is the other option. You could always sketch and find solution, right? So these are two very good tools with you. I like you to use them. These are underrated and they are very, very powerful ways of solving algebraic equations. I hope that helps. Thank you and all the best.